Robert, the head of customer success team, reached out to me with a request to prepare a new report. He gave me the following data, which has the customer ID, the customer name, which contains first name followed by space and then a last name, the segment, zip code, region, state to which the customer belongs, and the contact number of the customer. Now, Robert has requested me a report in this format, which contains the customer ID and customer name unchanged. The first name and the last name are separated from the customer name. The name format 1, which contains the first name followed by space and the first character of the last name. Name format 2, this contains the first character of the last name followed by space and then the first name. The segment and zip code remain unchanged. In the region, the first letter should be in the uppercase. In the state, all the characters should be in the upper state. And in the contact number, all the numbers that are starting with +1 should be converted to a purely number format. If it is starting from +1, it should be replaced with a 0 and all the hyphens or any spaces should be replaced with blanks. So let's see how can we do that. To separate the first name and the last name from the customer name, there are two methods. Let me go and insert two new columns first. The first is the simple method without using any formula. Go to the Data tab. Select text to columns. Then Next. Also make sure that the space is checked marked. Click on Next. Well, I'll choose the destination as cell C1. Finish. You see the first name and the last name are separated because there was space in between both these first name and last name. So I can quickly rename this. There is also another way of separating the first name and the last name from the customer name using the formulas. Let me again insert two more columns and give them a name, first name and the last name again. Now to extract the first name, I will use the combination of left and find functions. Since the length of the first names are not fixed, I cannot directly use the left function and then write a certain number of digits to extract. The length of the first names vary here. So what I can do is I can find the position of space -1 the number of characters to extract the first name. Here is how I can do it. What I did in this formula is I am extracting certain characters from the left, from the customer name, but I'm not sure how many characters to extract since the length of first name varies in each of these cases. So what I'm doing here is finding the position of space, and then, for example, in this Alex Avila, the position of space is 5. I need to extract only 4 characters. So that is why I'm doing 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. And that is extracting 4 characters from the cell B2 to extract the first name. Now to extract the last name, I will be using a combination of functions such as write, length and find. Again, the length of the last name is not fixed, it varies. So I am not sure how many characters I should be extracting from the write. So for that, what I'll do is first figure out the length of the entire customer name. From that, if I subtract the first name followed by the space, the number of characters of first name and that of space, I will be getting the length of the last name. For example, in this case, in the case of Alex Avila, the length of the customer name is 10. So if I subtract the length of the first name followed by space, first name is of 4 characters followed by space, that is, if I subtract 10 minus 5, I will get the last 5 characters from the write. So I will be using a combination of write, length and find functions to extract the last name. Let's do that. So what I'm doing here is extracting certain characters from the write. How many characters? Length minus the position of space. That is, position of space in this case is 5. So length is 10. 10 minus 5 gives me the last 5 characters. Now the segment and the zip code remains as it is. For the region, we want the first character to be in the uppercase. So for that, I'll use the proper function. Now for the state names, I want all the characters to be in the uppercase, so I'll be using the upper function. Now there may be cases where there are white spaces, either trailing or leading. White spaces may be present. So to remove those leading and trailing white spaces, I'll be using the trim function. Again, copy it and paste it over here. Now, if you can notice, there are spelling mistakes present in certain states. For example, in the California. So how do I do that? I'll first insert a filter and check the distinct state names. When you check the distinct state names, you can find out California is repeated twice but with different spellings. So I'll just select these two. And now what I'll do is press Ctrl plus H and replace California with California. And then do replace all. You see the correct spelling of California is present now. And now I'll remove the filter. Now comes the most difficult part, that is the contact number. In the contact number, what I'm supposed to do is any contact number that starts with +1 should be replaced with 0 and all the hyphens should be replaced by blanks. Even over here, all these both contact numbers should be prefixed with 0 and in this case, any hyphens should be replaced with blanks. This is the formula to get the contact number in the correct format. What we are doing here is it checks if the first character is a plus. If true, it takes the substring from the third character to the end. and then uses substitute function to remove hyphens as well as spaces and replaces it with blank. If the first character is not a plus, it checks if it is 0. If the first character is not 0, it adds 0 to the beginning and again substitutes hyphens as well as spaces with blanks. Doing it for other cells as well. Now I'll copy this and paste it over here. Now I don't need this, I'll delete. Also, requested in the report is the name format 1 and name format 2. Let's also go and do that. Insert 2 new columns. Give them a name format 1 and name format 2. So the name format 1 contains the first name followed by space and then first character of the last name. So let's do that. I already have the first name and the last name separated. So that is an easy task now. First name followed by the concatenator operator. And then a space and then first character of the last name, followed by a dot. You see, this is the format that was requested. And now in the name format 2, it is the first character of the last name followed by space and then the first name. This was the format that was requested. And now since I don't need these 2 columns, you can do it either way using text to columns or using the functions. I've done using both. I'll remove these that was done using the text to column feature. So this was the report as was requested by Robert. Thank you.